Systemic limitations in MetaHuman Creator through 2024. MetaHuman Creator, a product developed by Epic Games, is widely adopted in the game development, virtual production, and real-time animation industries. While its visual capabilities have set industry standards for digital humans, its integration into Unreal Engine-based workflows remains complex. This paper analyzes user-reported issues documented throughout 2024, utilizing direct examples from public support forums to diagnose recurring pain points and assess their implications for professional use. One of the most commonly reported challenges involves importing and exporting MetaHuman assets between platforms. Users frequently encounter broken or missing files when transferring characters from MetaHuman Creator to Unreal Engine 5.4 or 5.5. For example, a common complaint involves characters not appearing in Quixel Bridge or the MetaHuman Creator interface despite being saved correctly. Another frequent issue relates to exporting animations from Unreal into Maya, where users report missing morph targets and incomplete rigs. Additionally, users attempting to export metahumans for 3D printing or FBX workflows encounter mesh distortion or incomplete texture maps. Hair-related issues dominate a significant portion of community reports. Numerous users note that hair groom assets behave unpredictably after engine upgrades. A frequent issue is hair flickering or disappearing in build versions, particularly in Unreal Engine 5.5, where LOD-related rendering errors cause hair cards to vanish or shift unexpectedly. One example mentions MetaHuman hair turning into geometric cubes during animation. Others report grooming assets reverting to defaults or unbinding upon project reloads. Custom hair imports, especially when created in Blender or Marvelous Designer, often lose material settings or deform during playback. Despite the availability of tools like Audio 2 Face and the LiveLink Face app, users struggle to achieve stable facial animation workflows. One user notes that the lip-sync functionality in the MetaHuman SDK fails at runtime despite proper setup. Another user attempting to retarget Mixamo animations reports severe deformation of the MetaHuman's arms and shoulders. Control rig visibility is another issue. In some cases, the control rig for facial animation fails to appear in the sequencer panel, impeding animation baking. Additionally, combining facial and body animations, especially across different frame rates, frequently results in sync problems or detachment of facial components from the body mesh. Applying clothing from third-party sources like ArtStation or Marvelous Designer often results in skinning errors, simulation glitches, or broken vertex weights. One user reports that a hoodie created in Marvelous Designer does not collide correctly with the MetaHuman's hair, causing interpenetration during motion sequences. Another finds that shoulder physics behave erratically when using the Chaos Cloth system. Users also encounter difficulties when trying to attach accessories like helmets with chin straps or custom shoes. These often fail to deform properly or follow the skeleton during animation. While metahumans are praised for their realism, they are also criticized for their resource demands. One user notes that even on an RTX 4090, real-time performance drops below 60 FPS with more than 2 metahumans in the scene. Others mention excessive loading times for facial animations and grooming assets at engine startup. Users developing for VR report shimmering artifacts and frame instability, especially when using metahumans in stereoscopic 360 scenes. Hair simulation performance is also cited as a bottleneck, with grooms decoupling from the character during runtime or simulation. Rendering issues are particularly prevalent in VR and cinematic settings. Many users report moire effects on facial textures, eye shader malfunctions, or black artifacts caused by transparency settings. A recurring issue in Unreal 5.5 involves the eyes turning black when translucent materials are used elsewhere in the scene. In another case, users observe that hair renders correctly in the editor but appears pixelated or discolored in packaged builds. Lighting inconsistencies are also widespread, with characters casting incorrect shadows or having mismatched skin tones between face and body. Rigging and control workflows pose challenges for custom characters or third-party animation retargeting. Users attempting to integrate MetaHuman heads with custom bodies report mismatched normals or disjointed rigs. Others note that baking animations using the control rig does not preserve joint transformations correctly. Importing characters from Blender or Maya introduces additional complexity, especially when mesh topologies differ from the MetaHuman standard. Several users also express frustration with setting up characters for game-ready pipelines, where automated retargeting tools fail to generate clean skeleton hierarchies. Questions regarding the legality of MetaHuman use in commercial projects or with generative AI systems are also common. One user asks whether creating deepfakes using MetaHumans violates Epic's EULA. Another inquires about redistributing customized MetaHuman assets via the Unreal Marketplace. These questions highlight a broader uncertainty about licensing restrictions, especially when metahumans are modified or integrated with external data sources. The issues outlined above reveal not isolated bugs but systemic challenges in the MetaHuman ecosystem. While Epic Games has expanded MetaHuman's capabilities, feature rollouts often lack documentation or backward compatibility. The convergence of animation, grooming physics, and rendering workflows increases the likelihood of pipeline failure unless all components are precisely aligned. User frustrations suggest a gap between MetaHuman's visual promise and its practical utility in large-scale productions. In 2024, MetaHuman Creator remains a powerful but brittle tool. Its sophistication in character generation is often undercut by technical instabilities and opaque workflows. Import/export friction, grooming failures, animation desyncs, and performance constraints collectively diminish its reliability. Addressing these issues requires both technical fixes and a more robust support infrastructure, including clearer documentation and better integration with external tools. As the demand for digital humans increases across industries, ensuring the dependability of MetaHuman workflows will be critical to its sustained adoption.